And we're back. Oy. The scratching sound of both pens went on and on, almost without a single pause. Both Amane and Yoru kept on writing without saying a single word. I didn't know this word single wasn't in there, I just added that for personal flavor. The way they were working, it almost seemed as if they were communicating in an entirely different language. We, that is Ageha, Asa, and myself, stayed back and had our own conversation. From what I heard from Akari, the glider should be in the gym storeroom. I really hope there's some CGs in this one, because the last time I had to use the picture of damn rope, because there's no CGs going on at all. There's a sturdy lock on the door. It's not something you can just hit and break open. Without a winch, she'd think we can't fly. There's no way he's still worrying about us. With Amane working this hard, perhaps something might happen after all. Now all that's left is to take back the glider. I don't think he wants to be involved in theft. This might be too much, though. What we're doing could get us arrested if things don't go perfectly. Since we are students, the school will probably handle disciplining us. That wouldn't be the case for Anchan. Everyone was already prepared to be punished by the school. If there was a way to fly, we'd do it. That's how we all felt. We could just move it like we did before. There's a bicycle with a wagon attached to the at the grocery shop down on Kazumi Shopping Street. Man, I butchered that. It would be difficult, but if we could load the disassembled glider into the cart, someone could pedal while others pushed, like the whole thing, the whole glider. You're gonna put the whole glider into a cart? We needed a way to do it without the teachers noticing us. Breaking the lock will be noisy. That'll definitely get us noticed, unless no one's there. Wait, what's the method you're thinking of? I don't know, it only works like that in cartoons. The more we talked about different plans, the more realistic it seemed. Possibility of flying the Morning Glory, that sounds weird. The glider was taken, our winch was broken, everything had seemed to be over. Even so, there is still something missing. Still haven't heard from Kotori. Looking at the clock, I noticed it was just about to turn midnight. There was still time until it began, but it was getting late. I looked at my cell phone and continued to grow nervous. Yep. Did she read my message? Can't imagine she'd remain She'd remain quiet if she knew that the signs had appeared. That's because she's the youngest child. As I was responding with a laugh, my phone rang. It wasn't a message, it was a call! Exclamation mark, because it's exciting. Hello? Kanako. Yeah, I'll be right there. I closed my phone and stood up. I'll be right back. I ran up the hill panting. Why did Hibari come? Is Kotori with her? What didn't she want to give me? I was out of breath, but I ran on, fueled by my worries. Ugh. I suddenly heard my cell phone ringing in my pocket. That's not ringing, but okay. I had a message. I think I said that last time, too. Ugh. I paused for a second and checked my phone. It was from Kotori. The message had no title. And Chicago's getting a lot of shots right now. Hurry up, Ducks. Win. I hesitated for a moment and opened the message, and then opened the message. I'm sorry I didn't call, but if I talked to you now, I'd probably go crazy. Go crazy. I almost dropped my cell phone. My hands were shaking so much. Steadying my phone with both hands, I continued to read. talked with my father, I decided to go back to Tokyo. I'm gonna take a break for the rest of the summer vacation. I really want to stay in Kasugawa, but there's just no way I can keep worrying my parents like this. Whoops. After reading that, I closed my eyes for a moment. At the same time, I felt both shocked and like I knew this was gonna happen. Wait, what just happened? Okay, they're just getting shots. Spending this past year with you guys was really fun. It's one of my dearest memories. I wish I had made a photo album. Sorry I caused so much trouble for you all. I want you to fly through the morning glory without worrying about me. That's the only thing I want right now. So, thank you for loving me, Aoi. Even though I'm going back to Tokyo, I won't forget you. Wow, that's okay. Message ended there. This is reminding me of Lily's route quite a bit. Lily's was the second one I did, and it was pretty underwhelming compared to Rin's route. I'm talking about Katawa Shoujo, by the way, and well, did Chicago score? Don't do it. No, they didn't. What? Held my phone as tightly as I could in my shaking hands. Its plastic casing began to creak. As soon as I snapped back to reality, I called Kotori. That was fast. It rang once. What is going on? Why aren't you answering, Kotori? I yelled without realizing it. Feeling overwhelmingly at a loss, I nearly flung my phone down at the ground. Managed to control myself and instead call a different number. Come on. After calling a ridiculous amount of times, maybe 20 or so, someone finally answered the phone. Kotori. Kotori. Hearing Kotori's voice after what felt like ages, I felt relieved. I'd called Hibari's phone number. Don't do it. Is that a score? No. I called Hibari's phone number. Since Kotori answered the phone, it means she's still there. I read your mail. What happened? Huh? What? How would it be your fault in any way? My mind went blank for a moment. So did mine, because I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean. I had only asked her what happened, albeit in a strong tone, but she seemed to understand what I was talking about. How's she doing? Please. That's not right. I almost said that, however, right now those words would not console her. Literally nothing happened. You essentially fell down pretty hard. How would that happen? You're like overestimating your importance in this family. But, you know... Could you do that? Quit school, go back home, and then live like that? I was only answered with silence. After a moment, she sighed. Whoops. God, you're talking so slow.
って飛んだわ。それ全部葵たちと出会ってなかったら一生得られなかったかもしれないものばかり。もう十分よ。
Now, there's still one thing you want to do, right? One really big thing. Did you read the message? We saw the signs. It's coming in only a few hours. The morning glory is coming.
それは私には過ぎた夢だから。
No, it isn't.
あるの。
What are you talking about? You can fly now. You can do it on your own.
一人じゃまともにお風呂にも入れないのに。
You don't even have... That's because, like, your legs. You don't need to use your legs to fly the damn plane.
空を飛べるのだってみんなが言ってくれるからよ。
We made the
私一
damn...
人じゃ飛べないわ。
We made the damn cockpit just specifically so you can fly by yourself. Kotari... I couldn't believe it. She was throwing away everything we worked for. All of our good times together, she was acting as if they'd never happened. Tears welled up in my eyes as frustration coursed through my heart.
葵と過ごせた1年間本当に楽しかった。私にとってきっと一生の宝物だよ。だからもう十分なの。
I gotta keep switching windows. It's not enough, Kotari. It's not even close to being enough. My sobbing began to come out through my voice. When did I start crying?
葵は飛んでモーニンググローリーを見上げることは私にもできるから。
She laughed a little. I could tell she was trying her best to be strong. Or perhaps that was the last thing or perhaps that was the last thing she thought she could wish for. I know she had hung up. Oh, well, that's nice of her.
おかえりなさい。遅かったね。どうしたの？顔真っ青だけど。
I'm fine. Where's Hibari?
小鳥ちゃんの部屋にいる。
She stayed here? Oh, that was a pretty long phone call we had. Entering Kotori's room, I saw Hibari packing.
水瀬さん。
Can you speak up? I barely heard that. Taking one look at me, Hibari seemed to instantly know what was going on. She quietly closed a cardboard box packed with Kotori's textbooks. Whoops.
たったこれだけなんですね。
Oh no, I messed up the dimensions of the game. That didn't help. Actually, yes it did, okay. Hibari spoke in a whisper as she looked at the few small cardboard boxes that contained all of Kotori's things. They were mostly filled with clothes and everyday items. The rest had textbooks in them. Aside from the stuffed animals that had been on the bed, Kotori didn't have much personal stuff. She said having lots of stuff was mostly a hassle. Hibari seemed extremely sad. This is your fault. I completely understood. Having only a few things made Kotori's own existence seem somewhat small. Hibari was silent. Tears began to form in her eyes.
どうすることが一番なのかわからない。私はやっぱりグライダーに乗ることは反対よ。あんな事故にあって足が動かなくなってしまったのにまだ空を飛びたいだなんて。
It's not a balloon.
私は小鳥ちゃんがグライダーから降りてくるのを見たとき心臓が止まるかと思ったわ。でも小鳥ちゃんは飛んだんですよね。
Yeah, she wasn't scared at all. Even I was surprised by that. She was nervous about being up in the sky. Kotori didn't show it at all.
私今でも水瀬さんたちに感謝しているし風が浦に来てよかったんだって思っています。
So what the hell are you guys gonna do if, like, she has to fly overseas? Like, what are you gonna do?
小鳥ちゃんがまた元気になってくれたんだもの。それにもし小鳥ちゃんが皆さんと同じ夢を見られるのなら応援してあげたい。お父さんも本当はそう思っているはずなんです。
Saying that, she closed her eyes. And it almost seemed as if she was praying that what she said was the truth.
でももし今ここに残れば今度こそ家族はバラバラになってしまうかもしれない。
Why is she so important? I heard your mother isn't doing very well.
ただの貧血だろうと言っていました。母はもともとあまり体が丈夫じゃなくて、私が実家へ連絡した時、小鳥ちゃんの事故を先に知ったのは母だったんです。その時父は仕事で電話に出られなくて、病院で父が一晩寄り添って少し良くなったと聞いています。
Oh. Oop. My mic keeps peaking. Considering Koto's condition, her mother already had to worry about her worry more about her than most mothers would. So to hear about the accident and that it was a glider accident, that must have been a huge shock. Well, it's not like she crashed in a glider before. Isn't there any way that Kotori could stay in something other than having her quit school? I was getting agitated and my tone was becoming less kind. However, Hibari only shook her head at me.
父も母も小鳥ちゃんと一緒に暮らすことを強く望んでいます。将来どうなるかは分かりませんが、今すぐには。
But she has things she wants to do. Not just this year, but her entire future. What is going to happen to her? Saying this to Hibari wouldn't change anything. And I still couldn't help changing it. Well, saying it, whoops. An awful silence surrounded us. That better not be a goal. It doesn't look like it. Nope. Suddenly the little door within the door opened up and in came a duck.
Quack.
Had entered the room and waddled over to Hibari's feet.
Hatto-chan.
Hibari kneeled down and patted Hat's back.
Quack.
Kotori hasn't come back, so he's been searching the dorm for her. And always does that on days Kotori is late coming home.
小鳥ちゃんからのことづてで、ハットちゃんをよろしくと言っていました。
You don't have to worry about him. Sure, he'd be lonely, but if you left him alone, he'll find food just fine.
強いのね、ハットちゃんは。ガガー。
Hat seemed to enjoy Hibari's petting him. What's gonna happen to Kotori now?
今夜はうちで預かって、明日の朝父が迎えに来ることになっています。退学などの手続きはすべて父が行いますので、もうここへは。
Can I see her one more time before she goes? Please, Hibari, please let me see her. Hibari stopped petting Hat. Standing up, she pulled something out of her bag.
これを水瀬さんにって。
She handed me Isuka's navigation diary.
もう自分が持っておくべきものじゃないからって。水瀬さん？
Oh, yeah.
それとこれも。
With a strange look on her face, Hibari handed me the thing she was talking about. What is this?
わかりません。水瀬さんに渡してほしいって。
It was a paper airplane. It was a completely normal paper airplane. I quickly unfolded it, but there was nothing written on the paper.
荷物は後日引き取りに来ますので、それまで置いておいていただけませんか？
Okay. With my head hung low, Hibari looked at me with a bit of worry in her eye.
あの子が東京へ戻ったら連絡があると思います。それまでそっとしておいてあげてください。
Saying that in an apologetic tone, Hibari laughed. For a moment I couldn't move from where I stood. Sudden exhaustion came over me, and I did not have the energy to combat it. I threw myself onto the bed, my eyes glanced over at the flight diary I had received earlier. She said she didn't have any reason to hold on to this any longer. How long I've been recording? I have to flip through windows so much I can't tell. This notebook was pretty much Kotori's starting point. After finding it in this room, she then discovered the glider and flew herself. Turning it meant Kotori was saying she had made up her mind. Rather, she was throwing it all away. All of her feelings for the sky. I searched through every page of her notebook to see if she had left a message somewhere. Couldn't find anything anywhere. The notebook was exactly as it was before. Looked at the last page, the things I want to do list. Even looking now, there were some ridiculous things written. One was skip school. I mean, it seems like she had done that one yesterday by accident. Only the top item, fly through the patches of clouds, was left unchecked. I guess they changed the spelling of it since the last time we read it. I gotta take a drink. Anaheim is getting a lot of shots, but they ain't fucking scoring. Even though that could happen tonight.
やりきれないね。なんか。
Looking up to see who spoke, I saw Kaneko in the doorway. Just as she had said, I was completely frustrated. She had probably heard me and Hibari talking. Kaneko came into the room and sat down next to me. She picked up a hat and put him on her lap.
昔さ、いとこがインコを飼ってたのね。
Those things are terrible. Is that so?
それがすんごい可愛くてさ。私、その子に会うのが楽しみで、いとこの家にしょっちゅう遊びに行ってたわけ。
They're nice to look at, but they're just the worst birds. Actually, all birds are.
結構賢くてさ、飼い主に懐くのよ。指や肩に乗ったりね。知ってた？
Yeah, like I was saying, all birds are pretty terrible. I wasn't sure what Kaneko was talking about parakeets, but I just quietly
ある
listened.
時、いとこが新しいインコを買ってきたんだよね。一匹だけじゃ寂しいだろうって。私も早速見に行ったわけよ。いやー、あの時はテンション上がったな。まだ子供だって言うからさ。でさ、見ちゃったわけ。羽を切るところを。
Cutting the feathers.
そう。
Kaneko grabbed some of Hat's feathers and flicked them around.
インコを飼う時って羽を切るのよ。先っちょをほんの少しだけね。全部の飼い主がそうしてるわけじゃないみたいだけど。
What do birds even do if you clip their wings? Like, flying is like the way they get around. What the heck? Do they walk everywhere? That sounds like it would be absolutely horrible for them. The legs weren't really made for extensive walking unless you have like an ostrich. Why in the world would you?
私もそう思ったわ。どうして？ひどいって。そしたら急にインコがかわいそうに思えてきて、いとこのうちに遊びに行かなくなっちゃった。
Well, that's a bit extreme. That is pretty terrible.
って思っちゃうよね。やっぱ。で、それからだいぶしてもうちょっと大きくなってから、そうしなきゃいけない理由があることを知ったのよ。
Really? What's that?
そうしないと部屋で話した時、勢いよく飛びすぎて天井や壁にぶつかっちゃうらしいのよ。
I thought it stopped them from flying completely.
物が崩れたりもしてインコの怪我のもとになる。それに窓から飛び出してっちゃうこともよくあるし。
Well, I mean, if they can fly a little bit, then they could still go out a window.
ほら、たまに見かけるでしょ。インコ探してますの張り紙。
Is that a common thing? I hadn't seen any recently, but just like I had seen them for missing dogs, I had seen a few for parakeets as well. Okay.
羽を切ってても少しくらい飛べるし、人に飼われて暮らすならその方が暮らしやすいんだよね。要は飛べなくするんじゃなくて、世界の狭さに合わせたサイズに羽を調節するわけ。
I thought it was just like complete flying nullification. I see. I had no idea that was part of keeping a parakeet. Cutting the feathers sounded awful, but I guess it's a bit like keeping a collar on a dog, except it's not at all.
で、今でも時々考えてしまうのよ。さて、どっちが幸せなのやらってね。
For the parakeet, right? There are probably some that are happier that way and some that aren't.
懐いてる飼い主に可愛がられて、たらふく餌を食って、天敵に襲われない安全な場所でぬくぬく眠れて。幸せなんじゃないかって思うんだけどね。けど、 聞けないじゃん。インコの本音なんてさ。
Right. As she commented to Had how he couldn't fly to begin with, she placed him on the floor and stood up.
聞けたらいいんだけどね。インコの気持ち。
She left the room looking frustrated. Parakeet's feelings. I can at least look up at the sky. Is that really what Kotori felt? Even if it was that all she felt? I don't know. At any rate, it seemed that Kotori had already decided her future. Did you just score already?
お疲れ様です、先輩。ああ、別に疲れてないぞ。夜。何ですか？ここは任せてもいいかな。私は外を見てくる。ええ、そうしてください。疲れてないのか。葵先輩、遅いですね。うん。でも心配ないよ。必ず戻るって言ってたじゃん。はい。糖分が足りない。姉さん、チョコ。
チョコ。
はいはい、ただいま。ありがとう。あの人
Come on.
すごいわね。あまねさん？私、自分より頭いい人初めて見た。どうなの？いけそう？ええ、多分あの人が外でちょうどいい場所を見つけてきてくれたら。ただまだ裏付けは完璧じゃないわ。休憩終わり。もう一頑張り。
Without quite realizing it, I had to return to the secret base where everyone was waiting. What? You didn't notice that you walked all the way to the secret base? Agea ran up to me as soon as I came in.
こっちは行けそうだよ、葵。そっちはどうだった？葵？
Saying nothing, I handed over Isuka's navigation diary.
何これ？
She said she didn't have any reason to hold on to this any longer.
それってどういう？
She's the scientist quit school in the middle of summer vacation.
え？今なんて？
Because she thinks she's so important. After hearing about Kotori's accident, her mother collapsed. I thought that was because of something else. She said she doesn't want to worry her parents anymore. She said she's done. As I spoke, I could feel tears welling up in my eyes. I took a deep breath to pull myself together. And where's Amane? I was planning to give Isuka's diary to her. It wasn't something I should be holding on to.
今外に出てる。
Okay, I'll go look for her. Strong wind was blowing outside. Due to its shape, strong winds often blow on Windmill Hill. That wasn't the reason this time. When the morning glory appears, the airstream becomes turbulent and strong winds will blow. Looking at the sky, I still couldn't see the cloud formation, although it was clear it was coming. I sat down in the grass. I had no real intention of going to look for Amane. I just couldn't stay in there. I had to get out. The wind ran noisily up the grassy plain. And this is where it all began. Came back home after becoming unable to ride my bicycle, and the first time I came to this hill, I met Kotori. Her wheelchair had a flat tire, and I helped her. That's how it started. Years passed since then. We lived together as each other's sky-gazing partner. Okay. We argued, yet we always looked up at the same sky. Please don't get her all wrapped up in your normal person dreams. He says that, not even knowing what his daughter feels when she looks up at the sky.
私飛びたい。モーニンググローリーを 雲の回廊を渡りたい。そうしたら取り戻せる気がするの。未来が。そう、未来。私がなくした一番大きなもの。もしモーニンググローリーを飛べれば取り戻せる気がするの。
Could totally find happiness by going back to her parents' home, giving up on her dream, throwing away her future. There's no way she'd be happy. I wish I could bring her back right now. That would completely disrupt Kotoli's family. This is my family's problem. If I don't go home, my family would entirely fall apart. I couldn't let that happen. Kotoli had to decide which one of those things was more important. Without any trouble, she chose her family. I just want her to come back. Although I guess that just means I'm being selfish, he says to himself like some kind of weirdo. I looked down at the paper airplane that I was given along with Iska's navigation diary. What the hell just happened? Why'd that happen? No, don't scroll down. I need to see the score. Nope. Let me see the score. There. It was a completely normal paper airplane. There's nothing special about how it was made. There was nothing written anywhere. She had given up on flying, but not the desire to fly. Was that the message? I picked up the paper airplane and threw it. It quietly glided through the night sky. It fortunately missed a head-on wind, then proceeded to fly towards the hill's bottom and disappeared into the darkness. Well, it flies well. Kotoli definitely made it. As I was complimenting the paper airplane, I saw someone coming up the foot of the hill. It was Amane. She was holding the paper airplane in her hand. She came over near me and stared out at the lake at the bottom of the hill. Yeah. I wonder. I don't know. I don't know what the right thing to do is. Without realizing it, I begun complaining. Amane gave me a perplexed look. I still hadn't told her about Kotoli. Of course she'd be confused. Sorry, I'm rambling. Forget it. I'm not gonna explain anything, just... Huh?
それを決められるのは自分だけだ。だってそうだろ？誰かにとって正しくても他の誰かにとって間違ってるってことはたくさんあるんだ。だから僕は僕にとって何が正しいか他人に決められるのなんてごめんだね。迷った時は自分の心に耳を澄ませるといい。あんたの正しい答えはそこにある。
Well, stared blankly at the poetry coming out of Amane's mouth.
イスカが私に言った言葉だ。驚いたよ。それまで私はどんな問題にも正しい答えは一つだと思っていたから。天才だろ、イスカは。
Yeah, it seems like it.
だから君も自分の心に耳を傾けるといい。私はバカだから今もあまり上手にできないんだけどな。
Sounding embarrassed as she spoke, Amane handed the paper airplane to me.
さて、フライトプランを練り直すか。
She stood up and headed off to the secret base. As I watched her walk away, a light went on my head. Suddenly I remembered everything from that moment. First time I met Kotoli, even though we, just remembered that quite a while ago, actually, like before we started talking to Amane. A white paper airplane had gently flown over my head. It was almost as if one of the windmill blades detached and flew through the air. I picked it up, climbed up the hill, and then... Show me a new CG, I can't use this one. This is literally the first one I used. I met her, a girl in a wheelchair with a sense of innocence about her. She was staring wistfully up at the sky as the wind came and blew her long hair. She ran her fingers through it. I don't know what that word is supposed to be. Let's just go with rain. A black-haired girl in a white blouse sat with a scenery of windmills and a blue sky surrounding her. It was like looking at a painting. As she said that, tears began to well in her eyes. She had thrown the paper airplane. What did she say then? That way someone might get my SOS and come here for me. Okay, so that actually did go somewhere. Okay, I thought that was just reminiscing to waste time. SOS. My body trembled. I looked at the perfectly plain paper airplane. Could this really be an SOS? Was this Kotori calling out for help? No, it probably wasn't. Since I want to see her so badly, I'm probably connecting the dots in my head. However, if she is, I'm too late. Except, you know, she's staying there all night. I stood up and ran in the opposite direction. Wait, of this secret. Wait, what? If she is, I'm too late. What? But you're still going anyway? What? Oh, it's back! The music! Oh my goodness, it's finally back. This is... I don't think this is a good place for it, but it's back. Pulled out my cell phone as I ran. Can I ask you to get the glider ready? I'm gonna go get Kotori. Naga? As soon as I hung up, I called Ansha. Come on, pick up. Nope, he's not picking up. So I had to hang up and make a different call. Sorry for calling so late, this is Aoi. Is Kotori still there? Even I ask, knowing that you said that she's going to be there all night. I asked almost completely out of breath. He was deathly silent. That's not what you said. I thought he was coming tomorrow, yeah. When was this? Well, when you're driving, 5 minutes is a pretty long way you can go. I see, thanks. Before hanging up, I remembered there was something else I had to talk about. Can you come here now? Yeah. I want you to see what Kotori was aiming for, please. Whether or not Kotori flies, I want her sister to see. I want her to see what all of us were after. I guess that didn't work. Anshan didn't seem to be answering. Thought I'd ask him to use his car. Taxis don't run at this hour in this countryside. Guess there's only one thing left to do. Just to be safe, I left a message for Anshan. When I was ready, I put a hand on my partner that I'd been maintaining every day. Alright, buddy, let's do this. The music. And there's still no CG. Agile desu. Alright, well, I think that's all gonna be it for this time, and there's no CJ. What the heck am I gonna use? Hold on. Is it... overtime is still going? You've had 57 shots, you can't get a single one in? Alright, well, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.